Welcome back everybody to Dan Has Fun, playing more Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. It's the... I nearly said the lab mission for the second continent in a row when it's actually the factory mission. Just caught it. And we're going to be against Ada, kind of this... I need a planet. I'm having a great start to this episode. this nation's big bad. We're going to skip the text, although I will say a mystery CO Hawk is in there, but we'll see him more later. We have to pick COs again. Kanbei is definitely the right pick if you can hit the A button and not the B button. It's going to be one of those episodes, isn't it? So it'll be Kanbei, and then for Orange Star, we have obviously any of their three main COs to pick. I'm just going to pick Andy. There is an argument to pick Max for this mission, for the same reason we've actually picked Max for the Orange Star factory mission. You know, the fact that his bombers are one shot on the pipe seam, because, spoiler alert, that's the exact pattern we're doing in this mission as well. But this is significantly more complex, unsurprisingly, than the Orange Star one. So here's the pipe seam. It's protected by a cannon. Standard cannon. Fires every day. There are 4 cannons here. And this factory that they have, unlike the Flactory from Orange Star, it can produce naval units as well. So that's something of note. He's still not very smart. It's still a queue automated by, you know, what the AI's algorithm is. I don't know what the algorithm is, but he'll still build things in a very set way, even if it's units that don't make a huge amount of sense. But the reality of this mission is that as Kanbei, really all you're doing is getting as many properties, probably up to his base. You might get these cities depending how well the start goes for you. And then in essence, there's 2 ways to go about this mission. You can either build battleships, bring them up here, take out some cannons, and then just pot shot the pipe seam. That's one option. Or the second option is to get a lander out, take over this airport, if you can, because he will go after it too. Take over this airport, and then Kanbei bombers are even more powerful than Max bombers, but they're also horrendously expensive. They cost nearly as much as a battleship. And then you just use that, go in, toast the cannon, and then toast the seam. Both options are perfectly valid. So you'll then be wondering, Orange Star has this pathetic start. What are they even meant to do? You can use Orange Star to build the bomber, which then goes and takes out the pipe seam, which is why sometimes, you know, Max is the play. I tend to use them really more as distraction. So we'll get some units over here just to take over the airport. We'll probably get the port and try and distract them with these cities as well. I tend to just use Orange Star as a distraction rather than the actual winning force, although sometimes, depending how badly or well the other front goes, you got to make, you know, adjustments on the fly, right? So we'll see. And remember, this is Kanbei, so you can't build an APC and an infantry turn 1 with 7,000 gold. Can't do it. So you might as well just get 3 infantry. And Andy can do big old nothing. He just has to build 1 infantry and that's it. I guess I better turn the animation back on. But yeah, this is why this mission starts off quite rough. Because he starts off with a battleship on turn 1. And we do want to turn visuals back onto visual B. What he does with that battleship, though, seems to be fairly random from what I can remember. I'm not really sure what their idea is for that. But I don't remember there being a particularly common plan for what the AI tends to do. I'm actually going to build a mech. And then end turn. And I guess we'll go for that, and then we can just start going for the port over there next turn. Because we need a lander ASAP, because there's no airport on Orange Star's starting little blob of land. And they do start off with a transport copter very early on, but in true AI fashion, it doesn't use it very efficiently. Okay, mech, let's roll. You might as well start capping that. Get the capture starting. I'm not going to build anything else right now. Don't need to. Get that rolling. And then we'll start capturing the port. And by that point, we'll have enough money to be able to get a lander. And then start getting the ball, you know, really snowballing from there. And then, yeah. There's the reason why I didn't spend any money, because I'm going to try and get the base further down and build an anti-air with Kanbei before that goes awry. You won't be able to get this one before these guys arrive, but you should be able to get this one. So that's what we're going to start with. Would have been nice to have an airport to start here with and just getting a transport copter, but that's not what the game wants to give you, so it doesn't. You also have to be careful of this guy, because he's going to start getting into range very, very quickly. And in this game, if you start with a sub, it doesn't start submerged. So if you build a sub here, it just gets pot shot immediately. It makes no sense at all, but that's what it does. I'm hoping this guy doesn't hang around. Usually, from what I remember playing this game, the battleship comes up here. I'm not really sure why it's coming down towards me, but we'll see. The game wants to make it a little bit harder, I don't mind. And then again, for Andy, that's it right now. Where's he going to go with his battleship? I don't care about the copters, but where's the battleship going? Okay, it is going towards Andy. It usually does. It's just he took a very low path, and I was getting worried for a second. I'm going to put this guy in here. And I'm just going to see what the AI does with that battlecopter. Obviously, we're not going to go after it straight away, because he's in base range already. But I just want to see what he does. And then next turn we'll get this base, then we can start building anti-airs and dealing with this, because you need anti-airs for practically everything off the bat. He'll start with a tank, and then eventually he'll start getting neo-tanks, but we don't have to worry about that right now. By the way, 26,400 gold for a neo-tank is Kanbei. Same price as his bomber. We're probably not building one for a while, unless we wanted to build a neo-tank first, but no, that's not what we're going to be doing. 33,600 for his battleship. It's painful. It's so painful. Alright, so we have Andy's properties all set up. The question really is, do you want to distract the battleship first, or do you want the airport first? I would almost always say the airport is the better play off the bat. So that's what we're going to do. And we're still not going to build anything, because we don't need to. Andy should have access to neo-tanks because we did the lab mission on Orange Star. If memory serves, that's how that works. Yeah, there's a medium tank. And he did take the bait. The battlecopters are moved in first, which I am fine with, because I'd rather they come at me in waves. So what we're going to do is take this APC, bravely run away for a moment. We're going to put our infantry up first as like a shield wall. They're going to take time to capture these. The AI always goes for property closest to it, at least in this game, so that's fine. I'd love to get a battlecopter, not battlecopter, battleship. Well, actually, I'd love to get a battlecopter too, but I meant to say battleship. Again, if I had $1 for every time I say battleship instead of battlecopter or vice versa, I would be a pretty poor man. But it's definitely still not worth doing. We don't want to get in the cruiser here, because this battlecopter gets first shot. And yes, it's a Kanbei cruiser, so it won't take that much damage, but then I have to pay to repair it. That's really expensive. So we don't want to do that. What we can also sometimes do, if you build an infantry here, sometimes the AI gets confused with its battleship as to what to do. So we'll see what happens. But we definitely want to get the lander out before this guy starts firing at us. So that's what we're going to do. And that's it for Andy's turn. We're going to be building a sacrificial infantry probably next turn just to keep the battleship distracted. Okay, pretty standard fare on his movement then, so that's not too bad. Okay. This is why you have to do this quickly, because I'm technically in range of being shot at already. It's pretty rough. Also, they get a base up here, and then usually it is anti-airs that come over here. So eventually you have to build a tank, or preferably a Neo tank as well. But okay, I'm not in range there, so that's fine. So I put that there. Get my anti-air out. Gonna move one infantry forwards to bait in the battlecopter. They're gonna start capturing down here, but it doesn't matter. We just want to make sure that they don't get this base. If they don't get that base, Kanbei will be fine. If they do get that base, Kanbei will probably still be fine, but it's going to be a lot slower and more expensive. He didn't take the bait on this, which is a little unfortunate. But if I leave that here, he definitely will. And I want to do that because I don't want him chasing my lander. I also still can't build a naval unit. One more turn and I'll be able to do that. I just have to wait one more turn. And then we'll be able to get a battleship out, and then either a tank or a medium tank, preferably a medium, but I'll have to do the maths. So then this guy can now run away, get this over here. We're going to build a couple. It's also tempting to build an artillery here, can take the pot shot. So I want to do that. I don't usually do that, but it's actually an interesting idea. Because that would really slow him down. I'm actually going to do that. I almost never do. I don't think I ever do this. But it's actually not a bad idea. But I'm going to build an infantry and see if he goes after the infantry, because the AIs are, as we know, obsessed with infantry units. And see what he does. I actually do not know what he's going to target. So this will be a learning experience for us. He's going to go for the artillery. Okay, so it's going to cost me more money, but I'll be able to pot shot him back. And there he goes. The battlecopter goes for the bait. But because this is Kanbei, he can't even knock 4 hit points off me. But yeah, here come the tanks. So the next thing we do is we get, you know, the heaviest tank we can afford out. And we use that just to blockade this path so that they can't capture it. So far this is going fairly predictably. 156%, by the way, was the attack damage on that. Could nearly have killed him twice. Can I? No, I cannot get over there in time. So we're just going to sit like that. We have 45,000 gold, so now we have to think what's more important, getting out the battleship or getting out the Neo tank. Now, honestly, based on how many units are going to come at us, we want to get the ground game sorted first. But then the question is a Neo tank worth it? Because it's 7 grand more for a unit that's only a little bit better. But the +1 movement is helpful, because it gives it the same movement number as the battlecopter, and more importantly, it's quicker than the medium tank. I'm going to build one, and I don't think that's actually the smartest decision, but we'll see. I'm still going to leave this here to see if he'll get distracted and attack it, but I don't think he will. The AI is actually being surprisingly smart so far in this level. Based on how big this level is, though, it's probably going to be a 2-part video. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I also don't think we're going to get an S rank on this either. I don't believe this is the most efficient way of doing this map, not by any stretch. But at least now, this lander is not going to get one shot. I'm actually going to put it back to see if he'll attack it instead of the artillery, because that would definitely be preferable. And what we're going to be doing next turn is building a tank so that I can go and deal with this anti-air. That or we have to get a bomber. But as you can see, they like to spam anti-air out of there. Oh, and they built more battlecopters on his algorithm. Nope, they're going to go for the artillery. That might kill it. Nope. So he's going to have to waste another turn firing away at it, which is fine with me. That works out nicely. But yeah, here come the anti-air, which is a little unfortunate. I do have to try and block that base, which is unfortunate because the only unit that can reach it is my anti-air unit. But it's still worth doing. I don't want him to start trying to capture it. Obviously, we're not going to attack. That would be suicide. But the Neo-Tank can't quite get there yet. We are going to give it the defensive terrain bonus, because then hopefully this won't actually attack it. It would lose, but I don't want to take the damage. I'm also going to try and bait it with this to see if it'll go for that infantry. But 29,000. We're going to probably need another anti-air. So we're going to do that. We can start getting cruisers and starting to kind of wail on these guys from distance, but it's not, we're not at that stage yet. So get another anti-air. This guy clearly is not going to take the bait, so we'll just move him forwards. And for now, we'll end turn. And he might as well... I mean, this artillery is going to die either way, so you might as well chip another hit point off it. We might get lucky and chip it for 2. Nope, we did not. So we are definitely going to move this over here, because again, this will prove as a distraction more than anything else. We also have to build a tank. So we're going to build a medium tank, put it over there. Next turn this will come back, I'll put it in, we get it moving over here for the third turn. And yes, we might lose an infantry in the process, but that really doesn't matter that much. And he's going to use his regular power this turn, which is fine by me. Because that doesn't move his anti-air into danger range from what I'm aware of. I don't think it's that close. There's a sub there too, which is good to know. Alright, this artillery has wasted 3 turns and cost him 3 hit points. So that was definitely 6,000, probably slightly more in net effect. Well spent. Went for my mech, which is fine. Hoping he'd go for my mountain infantry, but he didn't do so. Yeah, there's the anti-air. So they're still not in an ideal place, but they're not right in the way. But that's how good his campaign's defense is. Medium tank only hits me for 4 because I'm on that base. And because it's the AI, it can't resist taking a pot shot at an APC. Because it can't attack back, so you definitely want to attack it, right? It's definitely the most dangerous thing. And yes, the AI is going major ham on the anti-air defense at the top of the map. We have 2 anti-airs and then a missile that was built, so we know what they're thinking. Anyway, this is now dead. Even with his 10% bonus, it's still a $140. So that is fine and dandy. And because of our movement, I'm going to just do that to resupply. Because of our fantastic movement, we can get a Neo-Tank in. It does suck that this artillery is here, and it's going to do some damage. It won't do very much damage, just as an FYI, but it will do some. We are going to chip this too, we might as well. It got pretty close to knocking me down to 5, which I would have been a little aggrieved by, but it's fine. Yeah, we're going to get hit by that artillery, but it's way worth it to knock this down to... Well, I thought it was going to be 2, but 1 hit points. You know, fantastic. I'm ecstatic about that. We want to... Can we take that out? No. But I definitely don't want to move there because I'll get shot by the artillery for no reason. So I'm at as well. He doesn't have any anti-air down south, so the infantry are not as weak as they typically would be. We're still going to take this up front, even though it's got limited hit points. There is a sub on the field at this point. I don't remember. Oh, it's over here. It didn't even submerge. That's funny. By the time it gets over here, it's going to pretty much have no fuel anyway. So I'm not worried about that either, to tell you the truth. I still can't afford a battleship. Like I said, eventually I'll get it right. I promise. So I'm still thinking we just get another land unit in here. Building rockets is not a good idea though, because they're going to get flanked by battlecopters constantly. So honestly, we're going to get another Neo tank, and then we hopefully don't really have to build much more in the way of land units, and then we can just scrimp for the next few turns. And just, you know, with just little small amounts of, you know, little pieces, effectively. We are going to move our lander into getting shot by a battleship range doing this, but that is, again, intentional. I want to do that because it's going to increase my CO power, and it means he's not going to move. This guy, though, sucks. So this infantry is going to take this hit for the team so that we can make sure that we get that other property down. And honestly, it worked so well last time. I'm going to throw an artillery there again, distract him. And if the artillery doesn't die, it'll be a useful unit on the island just above. Yep, he is going to fire on the lander. It's going to cost me 2,400 to repair next turn, but my medium tank takes no damage as a result. This is going to suck a little bit, but it's just like his defense is ridiculous. In this game, with that 30% bonus, it's just ludicrously strong. And that infantry lived, which is all I could ask for. And he does now have a Neo tank of his own. His sub did submerge, so I do have to keep that in mind. But now I'm pretty sure he'll run out of fuel before he can do anything. And yeah, they're so scared of Kanbei's Neo tank that they don't even attack. It's not his turn yet. If I had $1 for every time I use the wrong AI, the wrong commander, I'd be a wealthy boy too. But it is funny that these T-Copters are coming over with no units in them, just to be there. Do we have a way of getting through his infantry spam this turn? I don't really think so. I mean, in an ideal world, I'd like to take a shot at that artillery, because otherwise it's just going to keep firing on me over and over and over again. But I don't really have a practical way of doing it. And yes, this could take out this infantry, but then I can't take out this battlecopter. So we got a bit of a log jam forming. Not sure how I want to go about doing this, because I don't really want to put the anti-air there either, because it'll get shot by the artillery, and I don't have a full hit point anti-air, and they're weak to tanks. There's not a lot of this that I really like. But I am going to move this so I can put this in. I mean, the alternative is to do this, pretty much kill it, but then that's a guaranteed death. No, I'm going to use the full health anti-air, and then I can just merge them together. Save some money that way too, potentially, depending how much damage I take. And then I can use my infantry to start chipping away at his. And honestly, if it means the artillery then attacks my infantry, that would be preferable. That's a good hit too. Good luck roll. I guess we might as well use this to take that out too. We might end up needing a couple more infantry units than I anticipated, but we'll see. And then honestly, I'm just going to put that there so that they can't attack my mech from two different sides. I'm actually going to move that back so it can heal either one hit point or distract the battlecopter. Either is fine. And then I'm going to move it, hopefully, onto this base next turn if I can break through. I don't want to build any other units this turn, though, but I am tempted, because he's building Neo tanks, just to get an artillery, but it's still weak to battlecopter flanking. So I guess I'm just not, but I'm going to move that there so he gets a defensive star. Do I want to build anything? I'm just going to build a mech. I don't want to try and save some money at this point. Okay. So artillery number 2 will actually win the war between the battleship and itself. He might run away over here, preferably. That'll waste a load of his time and money, more importantly. So we have that captured. This guy is clearly toast, like there's no saving him. I did a dumb. I did a real big dumb. I forgot I'm not... For some reason I thought I had +1 transport movement. I do not have +1 transport movement, so now I have blocked myself. Man, I wish I had an undo button. But we don't, so we're not going to. We're just going to get our lander out of the way. And we'll do it next turn. We wasted a turn there, and that's entirely a misplay, but we're not going to cheat and backtrack or anything like that. I'm not saving every turn or anything. Mistakes happen. We are going to build another tank, though, in the background. Yes, uses a little power again, that's fine. You had the fake smile miffed face for a second there. Oh, it's such a dumb thing to do. I don't know why I did it. That's what happens when you're on autopilot, I guess. Alright, let's see how much damage he does. Not a huge amount. So that's fine. 7 hit point anti-air will still take out his battlecopters. My infantry is just going to block. He probably won't take out my mech. Nope, not even close. Bye, infantry. You did exactly what I needed you to do. I guess I made another mistake compounding it. I should have taken the lander back to the main island, subbed out the infantry for the regular tank for next turn. But what are you going to do? Anyway, he's going to take out this mech, actually. I'm surprised he went for the mech, but that's fine. Medium tank's going back to heal. Between his medium tank and his battleship healing, he's not going to be able to afford any units other than the ones that come out of his factory. So, not too bad. Wish I was paying more attention to where the sub ended up to, but I'm not. I'm making just tons of mistakes. We could do morale boost right now if we wanted to. It just increases our attack strength. But it might actually be pretty pertinent. So I am going to do that. I want to try and break through. And if I can break through... do I even need to? That'll kill. That'll kill. 1, 2, 3... Oh, it's the fact there's double forest here. This guy is going to be useless this turn. So yes, I'm going to. This will also dissuade him from attacking me as much next turn, because he'll get hit harder. Samurai Spirit is an incredibly strong ability. Like, crazy powerful ability, but we're just not going to do it this time around. And that's a one-shot. 6 hit point anti-air can take out 1 hit. It's craziness. And that means we're not going to use our anti-air to take out this guy. We're going to use our infantry. Which will then in turn... Let's see, can our 7 hit point anti-air... I can't quite do it. But our Neo-Tank can. So we'll do that. And then we'll use our anti-air to chip away at the artillery. It does mean this guy's invariably going to get hit again. But it's better than the alternative. And he's going to get hit far less now too. So, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're not doing this in a particularly optimized way. I'm hoping the transport copter might be stupid to stay there too, but we'll see. He also hasn't moved his other units in, which is nice of him. He might even attack my infantry. And then we're just going to do this. This guy's going to get sacrificed. There's nothing he can do about it. Move this one forwards. We now are at 25,000 gold. Do we want to start... Oh, there's the sub. I'm glad I noticed that. Because that's going to be actually in danger range next turn. That's actually kind of annoying. I'm surprised he's kind of followed me over as far as he has. He's built another battleship too. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's almost worth getting a sub out. Just so we never have to deal with battleships ever again. I'll think about it. I don't want to build it yet. We're just going to get another infantry out now, because I'm going to clearly need to have to start capturing some stuff. We can utilize our artillery to annoy the sub, though, once we get there. So this is bad, obviously. This is real bad. So we're just going to sit that there, not attack, obviously. We're going to put down our medium tank. I am going to put down that infantry anyway, because that might distract him for a turn. And I still want to leave the tank in range. This guy's going to start running away. Start trying to capture these. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the cannons don't hit those. 12,000 left. Do I want to do anything this turn? No. Getting a cruiser next turn would actually be very, very helpful. Not usually something I do with Andy, but needs must, right? And he is going to attack my infantry, so he's going to delay me capturing by a turn. By a whole one turn, but that's fine. That's actually perfect. That's a lot cheaper than what he could have done. This infantry's gone. This is why my rating tends to not be very good on this level. I do sacrifice a lot of units early. Mainly because you just don't have a lot of space. And if you don't take out that base, you know, or if he gets it, this becomes a real slog. A major slog of a mission. But you will notice the airport in the middle of the map still hasn't done anything with it. The AI is really slow on this map to go for that, if indeed it ever does. So we do know, I think the sub's here, which is pretty bad, because I don't think I can get away from it. I don't know, actually. If it's there, it'd be 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I can't avoid getting hit by that, so I'm probably going to lose my lander, which is very inconvenient. We definitely want to do that. Oh my word, I always... Sometimes it even startles me how much damage Kanbei does. 9 hit point Neo tank, 1 shots and tank on forest. Craziness. And that's definitely a 1-shot then. Bye. See you later. This tank now I'm not worried about, because we're going to put this down just to block. And that's going to make that negligible. Yeah, so that's fine. He's not going to delay our capture by any more than that 1 turn he's already done it with. So that's fine. We do want to take this at least to a level where it's going to be unusable. I actually chipped my hit point off. Pretty rude of it, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to put that down so I can move the mech over. We actually need to put fuel in our APC, which is one of those baffling things that makes no sense in this game. The unit that has unlimited fuel for other units can't refuel itself. You tell me, but we are definitely getting a battleship this turn. Didn't say battlecopter, be proud of me. Alright, so this has been an absolute dumpster fire over here. Pretty much if I could have done this incorrectly, I have done it incorrectly. And I have 0 qualms with admitting as much to you. I have not executed this well. Wish that had been a 1-shot, but alas, what are you going to do? Having him starting to capture, that's going to be annoying, but it's fine. Can I chip this out? Amazing. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, so how are we going to prevent the lander from dying this turn? Honestly, we probably aren't, but the only way it's going to even stand a chance is if I put it in the port. And in moves that you will almost never see a good player play, I am going to get Andy a cruiser. And then I'm probably going to end up getting an APC over here to refuel the thing. This is not usually a good idea. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I am going to get a mech too, in the hope that I don't lose my lander, but we'll see. And end turn. I could have healed it using my mini power, but I'm just going to run the risk and see what happens. Honestly, that probably would have been a better play, let's be real, but... we'll see what happens. We're living life dangerously today. That's absolutely fine with me. He's attacked the blocker, which is exactly what I want to see happen. That unit is going to say, see you later. He'll start trying to capture that city. Which, again, is fine. We're just going to interrupt it with our medium tank. There's the sub. Can the sub kill me? No, I didn't think it could, but I was running it close. And he's going to attack my APC because, again, that's just what the AI does best. So, at least that calculation was done properly. Oh, he actually went for my airport. The AI did a smart thing again. Huh. But you can see now why this map can take a person who's not exactly at the top tier of playing games, or at least this game, a long time. Because you end up with a log jam up here. And he does have the rocket now to make it even more jammy. Eventually he's going to start moving units over here too. If he builds air units from here, it's not really that big a deal. We'll end up getting a we're getting a cruiser out anyway, so we're actually going to nullify that problem. But we end up with a lot of anti-air. He's going to put his battleship in that port, which is a little bit annoying, especially because cruisers in this game cannot hit them. But what can you do? Anyway, we can take at least this out. Infantry's out of the way. So his initial push down south is pretty much done. He still has this Neo tank, which you will have noticed he just doesn't move. The AI likes to turtle at factories. Thank goodness, in some of the harder missions. We're just going to move that forwards. Do I want to take that medium tank out now? Because I can without getting hit. Or is it more important to take out this tank? No, the medium tank's more important. There we go. We'll just use blockers on this tank again. That's really all we'll have to do. Then we're just going to move that here, resupply this Neo tank anyway. There's an APC that we don't care about. See you later. And we're just going to use that infantry to block again. And I'm actually tempted to join these together, but... can this guy reach? So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he can't. So that is a perfectly adequate blocker. He could attack my anti-air, though. So yeah, I will join them together. Make some extra money. The nice thing about joining a Kanbei unit is you get the extra money, I believe, anyway, as if it was that expensive. So it's not like you get ripped off at base price when you join units together. Thank goodness. And then we're going to sit there and we're going to start shooting at some of these cannons to get them out of the way. You don't really need to do that either. It's not mandatory or necessary, but it makes it easier for me so I don't forget and then just get hit for no reason. Okay, so we are definitely going to have to do that. Not ideal on a turn where he's got his defense bonus on top of the fact it's an airport, but... based on some of Andy's previous chat, he doesn't even know what that is, so it's fine. Artillery can't hit that, which is a shame. But this guy certainly can. Even with his defense bonus, that sub is now practically worthless. And I'm not being blocked either, which is awesome. Okay. The artillery is purely going to be there so the anti-air attacks it. That is the only reason why it's even there. Just as, again, distraction. And then we can use our medium tank and our regular tank to start annoying the units down here. But that does mean we have to get out there and deal with that battleship. How many times am I going to try and say battlecopter when it's a ship? Mamma mia. This tank still shouldn't be able to take out this infantry, and the infantry even chipped a point off it, which is nice of it. Yeah, it is going to attack my artillery because it can't attack back. It's not too bad. His anti-air didn't even decide to attack my anti-air. This will not be a kill. Yeah, so I can just use my cruiser to wipe out that sub. Although the sub's so low on fuel anyway. This is the other reason why you want to get your battleship out early, because you don't really care if he takes out this city, but you do care if he goes for the airport. I was hoping I'd have a bit more time to work with, but I see it needs must. So all we're going to do actually is change our plan slightly. And we are going to sit there for a moment. Because now his battleship can only move into a very limited window, most of which I can hit. There we go. Alright, and we might as well start trying to capture this. Just get some extra money for Kanbei. He's, you know, the one CO that desperately needs it, so we should definitely do that. We don't want to go and attack that battleship, though, with our Neo tank. We're just going to take out his anti-air instead. There we go. Okay, and now this side is pretty much sorted. I'm going to do that so I don't end up having to spend money repairing an infantry. But yeah, we're pretty safe down here for now. The only thing we're realistically going to have to do, and I'm going to do it now, is get a sub, and then we're going to get another APC. Just so that I can start dealing more efficiently with any more battleships that he's producing, because he's going to keep producing them. And Andy, I'm going to get you dealt with too. I don't want to wait for the sub to run out of fuel because, well, it might take my lander out while that's happening. So I'll just take that out. There we go, no more sub. Andy won't have to deal with naval issues realistically anymore. It's just not going to happen. Might as well use this artillery, given it can't move and attack, to take out the capturing... There we go, capturing infantry's gone. And then we can just start wailing on this anti-air. Did I get good luck this time? No, I got actually pretty poor luck looking at that roll. There we go. Okay, so now Andy can do what I actually intended for him to do. Start building air units. Still got to be careful of the cannons, which I had wished I could take out with Kanbei, but it hasn't happened. Put that in there, get the mech. Do I need any other land units before I start pushing forwards? Do I want an anti-air of my own? Do I want a rocket of my own is also an interesting question. Or do I want a sub? I'm actually tempted because it's Andy to wait for a sub. I'm going to build something here just so I have, you know, space. I'm actually going to build an APC. Because these guys are going to run out of ammo firing away at vehicles constantly. I'm going to put a save... Well, I'm not going to save. I'm going to put a cut in the video. I might save, but I'm going to cut the video just so we can split this up into two. Because this is going to be a long mission. So, if you want to see how the rest of this goes, tune in next week. I appreciate it. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. And maybe throw a like at the video if you enjoyed it. And subscribe. Make it easier to see this time next week. Take care. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the video.